Newsfirst, NEWSLINE with Faraz Shauketaly.
And a very good morning to you. This is NEWSLINE, live as always from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Street in Colombo. And what a day it was yesterday. And that's the way Sri Lanka is in this robust democracy that we live in. Well, to discuss various matters, obviously, of current interest, and that is of grave interest to the people of Sri Lanka, we've got the news editor of the Island newspaper, Mr. Shamindra Ferdinando, who's right here in the studio this morning with us. Very good morning to you, Shamindra Ferdinando.
Good morning, Faraz.
Delighted to have you on the program.
Thank you.
I've missed interviewing you.
Yes, last time you're not here.
That's right. Now then, Shamindra Ferdinando, the events of the last few days, we've seen some clarity and finally something that even you have been calling for. You've been talking about it, most of the country. We've now got a date, or it seems like that, for the presidential election. And that's the one thing. Is that a good thing?
I think for us, they have not made an official statement yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Of course, the papers reported December 7th.
Yes.
Right. But there's no official statement.
No official statement.
Yes. So the issue is whether I think whether they are going to have the presidential election without having the provincial councils.
Right.
Right. So I think they should have the provincial council elections first before the presidential. So it all depends. But first of all, I think the president should make a statement here, because those reports came from Delhi.
Yeah, they came from
New Delhi, I mean, during President's visit to India.
Yes. But that, though, of course, that wasn't a statement in the sense that he was answering some questions posed by journalists, right?
Yes, there he sort of indicated he's not interested in contesting for a second term, seeking a second term. So, but anyway, here it's not clear what's going to happen. So they have to make an official statement about elections.
Do you think the Indians had anything to do with it? Do you think they should have had a little chat with him and said, little old chap?
I don't know, Faraz. I really don't know.
That doesn't kind of happen, does it? Or does it?
No, I think India was interested in securing the East Terminal at the Colombo Harbour, and they got it.
Yeah.
So they must be very happy. Of course, the last year they tried to get it. There was huge controversy with the president and the prime minister clashing over that issue. And subsequently they brought in Japan. And now Sri Lanka.
It's a joint effort.
So now it's an agreement involving 3 countries.
Well, then that follows with the events of yesterday.
Yesterday for us, of course, it's a very interesting day. I mean, I joined the island in 1987 June. I have never, come across a day like this. But if you really analyze what happened yesterday, I think they saved the government. Now, the joint opposition handed over a no confidence motion against Minister Rishad Badruddin.
Yeah.
And they were to debate it on June 18th and 19th.
Right. Why so long?
So, today's 4th of June. So
It was done a few days ago.
No, actually the joint opposition wanted it debated, I think, on 6th and 7th of June. The government did not give in. Government gave...
Who decides these things?
It's the government side, it's up to the government to decide. I mean, the ruling party. Now, the no faith motion was handed over.
Yeah.
Against Minister Rishad Badruddin.
Yeah.
They wanted him out. Now, Rishad Badruddin is no longer a minister. Now, what is the point in this NCM? So it's an interesting situation. I think they somehow saved the government.
Yeah.
So the the protest undertaken by Venerable Ratana Tera. He is a member of the UNP,
Yeah.
the UNP nationalist member, and then the president, the president requested Asad Sali and I don't know, requested or anyway, the Eastern Province Governor and the Western Province Governor both resigned. So Rishabh Badruddin also gave up his portfolio. Now he's an ordinary MP. And
But so
to
did all the
support him,
others.
all the other Muslim ministers also resigned.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I mean, they saved the government, right? It was such a huge issue. Now,
How do you mean they saved the government? What would have been the
some
flip side?
some Catholic MPs, now an MP like State Minister Niroshan Pereira, now he indicated that he was going to vote for the NCM. Right, so there were other Catholic members of Parliament also who were very upset about this incident, and they so now there's no need for them to vote for this NCM. So the government may take up the position that there's no point in having this thing debated because Rishabh Badruddin has resigned along with all the Muslim ministers. Now yesterday.
So it's now nullified the no claims.
I mean, there's no because those the NCM was to put pressure on the government, on Prime Minister Vikram Singh, to get rid of Rishabh Badruddin. Now he on his own he has resigned. With Rishabh Badruddin, Rauf Hakim, Khabir Hashim, all the senior Muslim ministers, they have resigned. Now, what is the point in having this thing debated again?
There are several issues that arise from this, isn't it? For on the one side, you see about 20 members of that particular community who have resigned their various positions.
Are you sure 20?
Well, I counted the people who signed that thing.
They must have, I think there are about 20 Muslim MPs.
Yes.
But ministers and state ministers, maybe
no. Yes, there are not 20, no. But what I'm saying is that all 20, I think I counted 20, have all signed. And it's normally, if you follow the events in the Middle East and so on, it's almost impossible to get them all to agree to one thing. And here we have them all acting as one voice. I called a source during the time that they were supposed to meet with the Prime Minister, and the feedback I got is they aren't moving, they're all as one.
It's a good move on their part.
Is it good move? But does it also not convey something else? That I don't know. This is the flip side. I thought at that moment, well, here that's a good thing. They're all together, and then I started getting some calls and different perspectives. One of that was that by them acting like this, it appears that they're giving they're standing by the three who there was claim or concern of some form of complicity or association. I want to use that word very carefully. Some sort of association, and that by doing this, that they were actually standing with them rather than by standing with the official organs, which would involve a fit and proper inquiry.
I totally agree with you, totally, 100%. And there is no dispute because they stood by Rishabh Badruddin, Asad Sali and Hezbollah.
Yeah.
Obviously, of course, earlier there was allegations against Hujubur Rahman also, but for some reason when Ratana Tera protest was directed against those three. There was no mention about
because he wanted them investigated. Is that what it was?
Venerable Ratana wanted them to resign.
Because
because he alleged that there was that these people were involved
Yes, so
with
in short,
the National Tawhid
he
Jamaat.
he wanted it investigated properly.
Yes, I mean not only him. I mean all
No,
of us
everyone,
wanted.
Yes, the law is the law.
Now the entire Muslim parliamentary group representing all the political parties, now they are together.
Yeah.
Now they stood by Rishad, and MP Rauf Hakim very clearly said yesterday, he declared that he requested that the CID investigate all these matters,
Yeah.
say within a couple of weeks, and take action against people
Now,
responsible.
this is
Now it's a
wonderful.
huge challenge for
Yes,
us.
of
Now
course, yes.
already they have resigned. They have resigned. Now it's a huge challenge faced by the government, by the police, to inquire into this.
But it's good.
It's good. It's good.
Any inquiry to elicit the truth is what your entire working life has been dedicated to that,
But
to keep the public informed.
yes, now with the presidential elections likely to take place end of this year and the parliamentary will be done next year.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a huge issue for us because all these political parties have to reach agreements
Yeah.
among
But
themselves.
we mustn't let that.
Don't forget that Rishad Badruddin contested. He was with President Rajapaksa's crowd for 3 terms in Parliament.
Yeah.
Now with the UNP.
Yeah.
So both major
So he
parties.
clearly has a following.
Yes, so major parties need support of the minority political parties. So therefore, I mean, Rishad Badruddin will be around, right?
MP Rauf Hakim said that the purpose was to have the inquiry expedited and their guilt or not determined in a month. They don't stand by anybody but the government. It was a very clear statement.
Yes, very clear.
Very clear. It's almost refreshing, isn't it, when you have statements that are absolutely crystal clear? When there's hardly any ambiguity.
The SLMC, for us, I'm sure they have no option but to stand with the UNP because the SLMC contested the last parliamentary election on the UNP ticket. They have, I think, they have 7 MPs in parliament, of which 6 were either elected or appointed on the UNP ticket. So the SLMC and the All Ceylon ACMC, that is Rishad's party, they have no option but to stand by the UNP.
Shamindra, what information do you have, or if you don't have any information, what can you analyze of the meeting between Mahinda Rajapaksa and Ranil Wickremesinghe and Mangala Samarawina, separate from the other meeting that they had where they discussed the economy?
You know, Faraz, I like to know whether that meeting was called by the opposition leader or by the UNP. If
What makes
see,
the
there's a
difference?
difference because if it was called by the UNP, it was part of their, their effort to divert attention, right?
On the face of it, it would be quite logical for the Prime Minister of the country to have a discussion with the leader of the opposition, especially on matters that affect the economy post 21/4.
If they are really concerned about economy, for us, they should have dealt with the central bank bond scam, no, right? The joint
Being very skeptical.
I mean, obvious,
The governor says that the governor says that the forensics will be done.
The UPFA and the UNP and all the other political parties in parliament, they got together and they collectively responsible for the current situation in this country. They ruined this country.
Yes, the
right?
4.5 years of inaction.
Not only during the past 4.5 years, I mean, you take the past 20 years,
Yeah.
they have ruined this country. No?
How can you say that? We won the war.
Faraz, you go through reports issued by Parliament, COPE and PAC reports, you will realize all these ministers, those who have, those who say that they have served the country for 20, 30 years.
They haven't.
They haven't, they are robbed, know.
Yes, there has been a
Right.
systematic departure from due process.
Yes. Every day, at the end of the day, I tell you, this lot will work together. They'll work together. It's better to be in the opposition than outside parliament, right?
But when they were in opposition for a long time, they came in after such a long time, and boom, within weeks, they robbed the central bank.
Not only within weeks, they did it again.
They did it again almost a year later.
Yeah. And to appoint the Presidential Commission, they waited till January
That's right.
2017.
I think everybody
across the board,
needs to share the blame.
So if you take the central bank case, then all the other,
And now they're struggling. The IGP, the former, or actually the current IGP, but who's now at home, has filed a fundamental rights case.
I think for us, I'm really happy Mr. Pujita Jayasundar filed that case. I think because it's wrong to hold one person responsible.
Absolutely.
Because all of them are responsible for this situation.
It was a systematic failure.
Yes, because obviously all of them knew, from all the top people knew.
They knew,
right? There's no doubt about that. They knew about this attack, about the Indian government alert.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Out of
Faraz,
all those members of parliament, not one went to church that day.
Yes, and most importantly, the chief of national intelligence, retired DIG Cesar Mendes, he said, he revealed actually, is a shocking revelation that the National Security Council last met on February 18th or 19th, right? So something wrong. The entire system, this parliamentary system, the National Security Council, various other bodies, obviously for us, right? The people in power did not care.
And they, obviously you're right, they didn't care, they don't care. And will they care in the future?
The former Defense Secretary, unintentionally, Mr. Hemasithi Fernando, he said the truth. He said, we got the intelligence warning, we knew there were going to be attacks, but we did not take it seriously.
That's very flippant. That's very flippant.
He said it.
Yes, I know, but it's very flippant.
Yes, certainly.
How can he? I would like to.
At least.
I'd like to hold him by his ears and walk him up and down the beach area, the tourist area of Nigambo.
Hemasithi Fernando at least told the truth. He told the truth, right? All the other leaders, all the political party leaders, SLAP, UNP, all of them lied. And then people realize that there's no point in having faith in this parliament.
Right.
But I must comment on Muslim MP Allison Maulana from Batiklo. He is the only Muslim MP to vote for emergency this month. I think people should be happy.
He knows a thing or two about security and the war and all that.
Yes, and he's a great person because he's the only Muslim person, because the joint opposition MPs did not come to parliament that day. They did not vote. Right.
And we mustn't forget the role that he played.
Bringing in Karuna. Yes, so right. I think it's after some time, after a very long time, we had something good to say, something good about a member of parliament.
Yes.
So Ali Sahir Maulana.
We call a spade, don't we? And I know that you do. Now then, all this is fine, but I know you're from Nigambo. I went there on Saturday, and in the afternoon it was like a ghost area, the area that is full of all the hotels and where tourists, where it's a hub of tourism. It's pathetic to see all these hotels empty, the staff in a quandary, because all of them have their own financial commitments like everybody else. And it appeared to me that we've gone back 20 years.
You're right, Faraz.
And, you know, in those days of the war, tourists didn't feel threatened in the least because they didn't appear to have been attacked. I think there was only one incident. Well, there was one incident, not only. But there was
50, almost 50 foreigners died.
over a long period.
No.
Oh,
I mean,
this-
this particular
this one.
yes, single
Yes.
attack.
And it sent it sent an awful message.
As far as
But also, Shamindra, I've just come back, and there is. I was listening to a radio debate, a phone-in on LBC in London, and they were debating whether one should go to Sri Lanka, and there were a number of callers who said that they must go to Sri Lanka because this is the time that Sri Lanka needs their support and their solidarity. And I think one of them, or it might be in another forum, who said that we don't want to take advantage of lower rates and we are not going for the deal. We are going to show the people of Sri Lanka that we stand with them because this problem of global terrorism is everywhere.
But here, for us, the government allowed this attack to take place.
Yes, yeah.
So we must always keep it in mind, and I think this is going to be
Well, they
the
allowed it
biggest
in the
issue.
sense that they didn't do anything about it.
Yes, because I think this is going to be the biggest issue
But
at
Shamina,
the forthcoming
how are they
election.
getting away with it? They're blatantly lying. They lied and lied and lied, and to this day still lying
They are
about
lying,
the bond scam.
For us, they are lying, but people do realize, people are fully aware. All the government leaders knew about this Indian warning.
Yes.
Warning received by India. So there's no, they cannot get away.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's going to be the Easter attacks. There will be a major issue. I think the biggest issue at the forthcoming presidential election. Right.
Eclipsing the bond.
I think so because this affected the entire country.
Absolutely. And directly. And directly.
Yeah, and people also realize how the way our political party system works. You take the case of the Tamil National Alliance.
Yeah.
Now, a number of people died in Batiklu. They are all Tamil people,
Yeah.
Tamil Catholics.
Yeah.
But the TNA demanded a division on emergency, right? The TNA voted against emergency, right? Now, Tamil people died in Colombo because when they attacked the Kochkade church, they picked the time they were having the Tamil service, right? So about 100 Tamil people died.
And in a
But still the TNA decided to vote against the emergency. So I think the people of this country, all communities, they are fully aware that they must not have any faith in this system. All our political parties are utterly corrupt, all of them. And we don't have leaders. We don't have leaders in this country, right? Because the way this attack took place and how they behaved after the attack, right? It's obvious. I mean, we simply have no hope. We simply have no hope because they are determined to continue with this system. No?
But in between all this adversity and people struggling and almost clutching at straws, originally the government's relief package said that these matters would, for the tourism industry, would be on a case-by-case basis. It's now been clarified that it would be a blanket consideration, which is all good news. And the Sri Lanka Tourist Development Authority are leading a special package aimed at recovering in the most immediate period the largest number of travelers into our country, which is from India. So they've putting together a package that will attract that segment of the market. They're then moving on to the Chinese market, and in time for the next season, we'll be moving to the United Kingdom and targeting the European market.
Actually, for us, the other day, I think a couple of days back, I saw President Sirisena on TV. He was addressing a crowd in Polonnaruwa, where he said something very interesting. He said that he invited the Indian Prime Minister Modi to visit Colombo. He's coming next week to show the world that Sri Lanka is safe.
Yes, because what we must understand and what we must tell our friends and share on social media, this is responsible sharing, is that in Sri Lanka, the product is still the same. We have the product. We still have our absolutely wonderful, blessed beaches, the stupendously brilliant waters, the ever so gently swaying palm trees, the green gold carpeted tea hills, the misty hills with our tea estates, our rich culture. It's all there. The hotels are there. We're only waiting to serve you.
It's a beautiful country, a lovely country, right? The whole problem is the parliament. I mean, we have to protect this country
away from there.
We have to protect this country from those in the parliament. That's the whole problem. Right? For 70 years, over the past 20, 30 years, this lot, they have ruined this country. No? That is the truth. So, the people,
Past how many years do you say they've ruined the country?
Pardon?
Past how many years?
20, 15, 20 years. I mean, the level of corruption, now see, you take the central bank case for us in 2015. It happened because over the years, the parliament, the law enforcement authorities did not take any action against serious corruption, right? Nothing. So they felt confident in robbing the central bank.
It was like those old pensioners who robbed the safety deposit company in London. Those guys' average age was over 70. And they robbed in over 2 years ago on bank holiday, in that long weekend. They robbed the blessed place. And they were all geezers, you know, and they did it, their granddaddies. And these, will they ever learn? But it's nice that in between all this, that there are people like Johan Jayaratne and company at the Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority who are not simply saying, oh, what can we do? And are actually putting together plans that hopefully will kickstart the industry. Because like I said last week as well, 180,000 people work directly in the hotel industry. And out of the Colombo hotels, the average service charge was 25,000 rupees a month. Now, if you do the math, 180,000 times 25,000, it's about 4.5 billion rupees, which was not in the paychecks of those 180,000 people with their salary at the end of May. And come June, it'll be the same, and July. So.
And the season now, no?
It's a season. June. So we now need Sri Lankan Airlines and the hoteliers, and also we need
Sri Lankan Airlines, of course, for us, are ruined by the previous lot. No,
well, it doesn't matter by whom they're
destroyed.
Ruined. The point is that the people are paying, and rather than have empty seats coming into Colombo from wherever, they need to raise as much money as they can. So even if it means selling it at a couple of $100, it's a couple of $100 that they didn't have. Incoming flights have got 30, 40 people. The one I came on had 38 people coming in, right? So this is reflective of everything. The people at the Tourism Authority need the support of everybody to get this industry going. The numbers, we need the numbers to showcase to the world that our product is still the same and people are coming to enjoy that product. Product Sri Lanka is very much alive. And of course, the entire industry in the country will need people like you and your wonderful paper to carry this message of unity and that we are moving forward.
So let us hope the Parliament leads the way. Let us hope.
Let us hope that the Parliament leads
the way. It's up to the Parliament. It's up to the Parliament for us. You know,
what do you prefer? Very quickly, just with 1 more minute left, very quickly, do you think that we should have a, what is it? We are not a small country. We have small leaders. Thank you so much for that comment. It came through at the last moment. But Shaminta Ferdinando, do you think that, as you know, an analyst of all what's happening in news and all that, do you think that we'd be better off having a parliamentary election?
I think so. Actually,
is that what they two discussed, do you think?
No. For us, don't forget that last year, President Sirisena set parliament elections on, I think, January 5th, 2019, 5th or 9th, after dissolving the parliament. But the UMP objected to it. So I think it's better to, maybe better to have a parliament election.
That was before 21-4. This is now post 21-4.
I know.
Shaminta Ferdinando, it's been an absolutely wonderful morning. Thank you ever so much for sharing part of that morning with us here on Newsline. Do pop back whenever. We love having you on. And that's the way it was, ladies and gentlemen, on Newsline. Have an excellent day ahead of you. It's not all doom and gloom. We are actually a wonderfully big country. Let's put our leaders right, and then everything will fall into place. Take care. God bless.
News First, Newsline with Faraz Shauketaly.